This one is so clever and brilliant and astute and quick-witted, and clearly I just looked up synonyms for smart because that's how many words this costume deserves. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or to it if this is the first time you are seeing my face. Thank you for clicking on it. I'm Jacy, and I just kind of wanted to hang out with you guys and reminisce on Halloween. That was yesterday, in my time at least. I know I just did a Halloween video, but TikTok just kept showing me some of the most creative and funny and smart costumes that I wanted to share them with you guys, because I know not everybody is on TikTok, and I know not everybody has the same algorithm where TikTok just goes, oh yeah, you like videos of costumes? Yeah? How do you like that? Here's more, here's more. Luckily for TikTok, I gave it my consent, and I accepted all of these wonderful videos of people's funny costumes. So I figured we could just hang out tonight and go through some of the good ones that I saw. So if you like this video by the end, give it a like, so I know you enjoy hanging out with me. But let me show you some of the best and worst costumes I saw on TikTok this year. So I will say I did see a lot of funny and creative costumes, but then I just kept seeing them, which kind of took it out of the running. For example, I saw a lot of Everything Everywhere All at Once costumes, which was my favorite movie of the year. But of course it was going to be a popular costume, but that's another good one, but just so many of them. I saw a lot of Stranger Things ones, a lot of Scooby-Doo and Shrek TikToks. I also saw a lot of people be the AMC Nicole Kidman, which is like funny if it had happened last year, but she became such a meme this year that like everybody was doing that. I also saw a ton of people being Steve Harvey with like a funny little bald cap and doing the splits and having wild reactions. And then I also saw a lot of people being Mia Thermopolis from The Princess Diaries, which I saw and was like, oh my God, that's so cute and funny. And then I just kept seeing it over and over, and I was like, oh, I guess everybody else thinks so too. So if you don't see any common ones that you saw on TikTok or really smart ones, it's because I just kept seeing them everywhere. So here were some of the more individual and unique costumes that I saw. This one was so funny because it is the mom and daughter from Freaky Friday, which they absolutely nailed the costumes, but I love this because it hit on the nostalgia and then just kind of like the funny dynamic of having a mom and daughter duo. I thought this one was so funny. I actually saw a guy do this one too, and he absolutely nailed the look as well. So I did see this one multiple times, but you can never go wrong with a throwback Disney movie. Do you guys remember the Apparently kid? So that is one of my favorite memes because he just goes, and apparently, I've never been on live television before. Such an icon, but how funny is it that she's dressed as the microphone? That is so freaking clever. Guys, I will never be as funny as some of these people. I will never think that outside of the box and then execute it to this degree. These people belong in comedy because I loved this costume. This one's so funny because alone, I probably wouldn't think that these costumes are hilarious. They are so well done as Dewey from School of Rock and whatever Jack Black's character from Jumanji is, but the fact that it's two Jack Black characters just standing next to each other made me laugh so hard. And just the attention to detail in these outfits, A+, spot on costume. So I hardly ever reward Harry Potter costumes because so many people just throw on a robe or a tie and be like, oh, I'm a Slytherin or a Ravenclaw. No. You have to do something really unique and creative to get my attention for a Harry Potter costume, and this one got it. So this guy is Gilderoy Lockhart, but the amount of effort he put into it to fully emulate Gilderoy, chef's kiss. He handed out autographed photos of himself and had this moving picture book of him. It is so Hogwarts come to life, but also just Gilderoy Lockhart in the flesh doing Gilderoy Lockhart things. If you don't know who that is, he's the guy who is very self-centered and thinks he's a celebrity, but really he's stealing everybody's ideas and making their memories disappear. Although if you don't know Harry Potter by now, you can unsubscribe to me now. No, please don't. I like hanging out with you guys. But I just like this Gilderoy Lockhart costume. And in that same vein, I really like this TikTok because, again, this guy could have just gone dressed as Neville Longbottom, But they took it a step further, put in some actual effort into their costume, and she's a mandrake. And it's so funny because it's an interactive costume. It sets the scene so well. But I also just think about how funny it is that she probably now has to walk around a party with all that papier-mâché on her face. And that alone is hilarious to me. But another way to take like a movie or a costume or a character and add that extra step to make it even funnier. So I like these two Harry Potter ones. This one I think is easily my favorite costume of the year for an individual because she is Cat in the Hat, but a very specific scene from Cat in the Hat. And that movie is the most unhinged movie. I watched this movie recently and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm on mushrooms watching this movie. What is going on? It is pure chaos, and she perfectly captures it in this costume. But again, what I love about this is that she could have just been Cat in the Hat, like, and then be like, oh, I'm Cat in the Hat. But she took it a step further, added all of the extra details, and became that specific character of Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat. It's a funny costume, and I really like this one. Another one that I had to share with you guys. I think this one went the most viral on TikTok this year. These two are Zack and Cody, a la The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody from Disney Channel. But again, took it a step further from just being those two punky boys roaming the halls of a hotel, and instead went as the Danimals version of Zack and Cody. Now this is kind of let me explain this to you guys. This is kind of a lore on the internet, where many, many years ago, Danimals, the drinkable yogurt brand, had a very large cruise sweepstakes, where the more Danimals you bought, the more likely you were entered into this contest to win a cruise with Zack and Cody. Now, a decade later, everybody starts bringing up, did anybody actually win that cruise? Like, we were all buying Danimals like gangbusters when we were 10 years old, and I don't know if anybody actually won the cruise. I still don't know the answer to this. I think there are YouTube videos done where somebody says they were the actual winners, but then I've also heard other things saying that it was all a scam. Zack and Cody didn't actually go on the cruise, but there was a cruise winner. I don't really know. You guys can look into it further. So the fact that they took it a step further from Zack and Cody and were the Danimals version, that's just hilarious, and a thumbs up from me. This one I had to share because, again, the amount of effort and handcrafting that clearly went into this Kevin costume from Up, so funny. It's so funny too because in this video, she's like a nurse that dressed up for work, and so she's saying like, asking nursing questions but being dressed up as this giant bird. So funny, and you can tell just so much time went into this costume, but who thinks to be Kevin the bird from Up? That's hilarious. Ugh. This one could also be tied for my favorite costume because these two individuals look like the Spy Kids. He looks like Junie. He looks exactly like Junie, and Carmen, she looks just like Carmen. They got all the details right with the Band-Aids on the fingers and their little badges for the Spy Kids. I want to be a Spy Kid. Maybe I'll be a Spy Kid next year because this looks really fun. Maybe going to like a party and just rolling around a bunch like they're doing. I really like this costume. I might want to be this next year. And then the last one of the individual costumes that I loved. You guys, she's business in the front, party in the back. That's so funny. I wish I was as clever as that. This is probably a costume that's been done before, but I think it was the first time I saw it that I was so caught off guard that I was like, oh my God, that's actually hilarious. So I really like this costume. The next category and the final category of the good costumes are group costumes. Oh my gosh, you guys, I wish I had more friends because some of these group costumes are so freaking genius. I need to look up synonyms for genius because that's the only way to describe him. This first one is all of these girls are dressed up as geese, chasing around their friend, dressed up as a piece of bread. They're just geese chasing bread. That's so stupid. But I want to be that for Halloween next year. Like geese as bread, come on, that's pretty funny. This one I saw went viral either last year or a couple of years ago where they're trophies. But every time I see it, I'm like, dang, that's so funny. And also quite impressive how still they are able to stand. But I just love how they each pick their sport, stand really still, and they're giant-sized trophies. That's so clever. I love pun costumes, but this one is so clever and brilliant and astute and quick-witted, and clearly I just looked up synonyms for smart because that's how many words this costume deserves. The 7 deadly Sims? They could have just been the 7 deadly sins, but they took it a step further by adding the diamond and acting like Sims all night. Ugh, people are too funny for their own good. These guys went dressed as a car wash. So simple, so effective, so hilarious. They probably had a hand to make all these costumes too. Shout out to them for putting in all that work, but they're a car wash. That's so funny. I need more friends. This one, again, a throwback, but so well done to nailing these individual characters that even Donnie comes in at the end and starts being all scraggly and crazy and kooky. Wild thornberries. That's such a good costume. And then the execution on Nigel's nose, the makeup on everybody. I love it. I love this one. I want to be a wild thornberry. And the last group costume that I absolutely loved, that I was thinking, how have I not thought about this before, is they all went dressed as holidays. Oh my gosh, so they had Valentine's Day and he's Cupid. Father's Day and he's dressed like a dad. President's Day, look at that costume. Earth Day, can't go wrong with that. New Year's Eve, that one could be a little better. Thanksgiving, she's a pilgrim. Mother's Day, she's a mom. Groundhog Day, like these are the obscure holidays, but they're executed so well. And the fact that they're all a group standing together, you would have no idea. But they have little signs explaining what they are. They're just like the calendar girls. I freaking love this costume. Well done to you guys. I'm gonna have a party with this theme one day because I love it so much. And the next section, I'm gonna go with the worst Halloween costumes because some of these were questionable, offensive, or to the point of, hey, it's 2022, why are we still doing this, everyone? The first one is this girl, starts off really cool. She decides to go dressed as shark attack survivor Bethany Hamilton. And this one is odd because it's like, ooh, is that something we should be dressing up as? Somebody's most traumatic event in their life? But in her defense, I guess Bethany Hamilton actually commented on it and was like, yes, girl, slay, or whatever she said in Bethany terms. So technically she got the seal of approval by the shark attack survivor herself, but I don't know, this one just kind of raised my eyebrows of like, oh, well, all right then. Odd choice, but you go off, sis. This one, this girl's showing an old Halloween costume, but I saw the video this year and my jaw dropped that I just had to show it. She's sexy Helen Keller. Like, why? There's so many random things that people make sexy, but like a sexy disabled person? I mean, they exist, but Helen Keller? I don't know. This one just made my jaw drop because I was not expecting it, so I had to include it in this section. This one was unfortunately trending where so many people were dressing up as Jeffrey Dahmer. And it is not a good idea to do that because I also saw a lot of people, dressing up as Mike Myers or Pearl from X, or Pearl. They're 2 movies, but starring Pearl. And the difference between those is that those are fictitious, made-up crimes and serial killers. Jeffrey Dahmer is a real serial killer who killed real people, and those victims' families are still alive, being re-traumatized by all of this new Netflix series and documentaries coming up, bringing up all of their trauma of this family member getting brutally murdered. Don't dress up as serial killers that are real. It's simple as that. There are real people involved. Be a little bit more sensitive. Golly. And the crazy one that I saw was I saw this picture of a mom dressed up her little son as Jeffrey Dahmer and was being like, oh my God, I can't. It's so funny. He has in his bucket a black foot. Now, I don't know if you've seen the Jeffrey Dahmer series or know anything about him, but this guy was racist and was killing young black men. And she decided to include that in this adorable little costume. Oh my God, grow up. It's 2022. You should know this is so extremely offensive. Don't dress up as real serial killers. Golly. This one, I don't know how to feel about this one. He's like the corpse of Queen Elizabeth, and he even says, "Oh, I was tired of the box, so I decided to come out." I don't know how to feel about this one. Part of me wants to laugh, part of me wants to be like, "Oh, too soon. That's a little distasteful." I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this one. It kind of leaves an icky taste in my mouth, but then I'm also like, clever. I don't know. This one, this guy is dressed as 9/11. As the Twin Towers, as the airplane going into the Twin Towers. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. I just don't think that's a good idea. Why do you want to go dressed up as this very traumatic event in American history? A terrorist attack? I don't know. Just not a good idea, my guy. Not approved. Not approved. Another person dressed as a Nazi. I don't think I need to explain why this one's in the worst costumes of the year. You shouldn't be doing this, ever. Even as a joke, even if it's a costume. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not that freaking hard. And the last one is, I guess this white TikToker decided to go as Dora the Explorer, and completely darkened her skin. Now, a lot of people said, oh, she's just self-tanning, like it's just self-tanner. But when you have to darken your skin to be a character, like we would have known this is Dora just based on the outfit. Did you really need to darken your skin? If you think that that's not a problem, please educate yourself of why darkening your skin is bad in these times and is bad in all times. Don't darken your skin for a costume or ever. Don't appropriate. Actually, I don't need to explain this to you guys. This was one of the worst costumes. Shame on you, homegirl, for acting it out. But that's going to be it for my little showcasing of some of the funny TikToks that I saw this Halloween. I hope you guys enjoyed just hanging out with me and me. I wasn't even really reacting to them. I just kind of wanted to show them to you, like I collected all my little favorites and wanted to do a show and tell. So I hope you enjoyed it. But I hope you all had a wonderful and safe Halloween, and I hope that November is your best month of the whole year. I will see you guys in the next video. Toodles! Oh shoot, it's time to be real. Would you guys like to be in my Be Real? Hang on. Okay, ready? Hold it, hold it. Can you guys see it? That's our Be Real. You're in it. That's you. Good job.